So what's different about a Cummins Westport natural gas engine as compared to a diesel engine? Well, to answer that, let's start by looking at what's the same. For instance, if you look at the ISL-G engine compared to the Cummins ISL-9 diesel engine, you'll find that 80% of the components are the same. In fact, both engines are manufactured in the same Cummins engine plant in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. The ISL-G and the ISL-9 share critical components including block, crankshaft, main bearing, piston rods, and the EGR system. And since it's a factory-built dedicated natural gas engine, it benefits from the same engineering and design processes as all Cummins products. So the ISL-G delivers similar industry-leading durability, reliability, and life to overhaul as its diesel counterpart. And the horsepower ratings and maintenance intervals are also similar for both engines. Yet there are also some important differences. First, the ISL-G utilizes spark ignition, where a spark plug ignites the fuel, as compared to compression ignition on a diesel engine. A spark plug is required because unlike diesel fuel, natural gas will not ignite with compression. And where the diesel engine has a 4-valve cylinder head, a 2-valve cylinder head is used on the ISL-G. That enables the optimum positioning of the spark plug. The piston for the ISL-G features a piston bowl designed for natural gas operation to both reduce compression and optimize combustion for optimum power density. And rather than using fuel injectors, the fuel system incorporates an integrated fuel module that mixes fuel and EGR with throttle-controlled intake air. Altogether, the ISL-G features combustion technology known as stoichiometric cooled exhaust gas recirculation, or SEGR combustion. SEGR combustion is cooled EGR in combination with stoichiometric combustion, which is the ideal combustion process in which fuel and oxygen are completely consumed. The result is lower emissions, improved power density, and better fuel economy. In fact, as compared to previous lean burn engines, ISL-G torque at idle improved by over 30%. Also, SEGR combustion creates an oxygen-free exhaust that enables the use of 3-way catalysts. This is different from modern diesel engines that utilize an active after-treatment system that includes a diesel particulate filter and selective catalytic reduction. Let's take a closer look at the ISL-G.
Hello, my name is Christopher. I'm with Cummins Westport. Today we're going to talk about the daily maintenance checks for the ISL-G engine, our 8.9 liter natural gas engine. Today this is in a truck application. On the ISL-G, the maintenance intervals are pretty simple from oil on up through all the components. The engine oil is every 500 hours. It is a natural gas specific oil for the ISL-G. The fuel filter right here is changed every 1,000 hours or second oil change interval. Also on this engine, the maintenance event on the spark plugs near the top of the engine here is every 1,500 hours or third oil change interval. The overhead valve set, the initial one is done at 1,000 hours, and from there on it's every 2,000 hours for an overhead. We are now on the exhaust side of the ISL-G engine. Talk to you about a couple of the items on this side of the engine. First is the coolant. The coolant is one of the items we want to check the level on a daily basis. The quality is checked at each oil drain at 500 hours, and then the coolant is changed every 2,000 hours. The air system is critical to keep the engine clean and keep fresh air into the engine. You can see that there's a variety of clamps and pipes that we want to make sure are tight on a daily basis. Also, you have a restriction gauge in the air filter housing itself to let us know when the filter is becoming plugged. One other item over here, the oil filter. The oil filter is changed at the normal maintenance events with the engine oil at 500 hours. A couple other components on this engine that we want to point out. The engine has a wastegated turbocharger. along with an EGR cooler that sits right behind the turbocharger, which is common with the other diesel counterparts of this engine. For more information, please use QuickServe Online for updates to any of these maintenance intervals.
Why do people choose natural gas power for their vehicles and equipment? There are a number of reasons. Essentially, they're quiet, clean, powerful, and simple. A key reason for many customers is emissions reductions. Natural gas is, quite simply, a clean burning fuel that emits fewer emissions. It meets North American and Euro emission standards with simpler technology than required for diesel engines.
Generally, communities demand natural gas trucks to service their communities. It's something that municipalities are demanding. Everybody wants clean air. Everybody wants vehicles that are not polluting.
Cummins Westport engines are very quiet, 9 decibels quieter at idle than diesels. This is because natural gas engines are spark ignited, and this results in a noticeably quieter engine.
Natural gas runs a lot quieter than a diesel. In comparison, nowadays from an 8.3 or an ISL to a Series 50 diesel, it's totally night and day.
Initially, our first customer response to our natural gas trucks was that they were not hearing our trucks pick up the trash. The engines were so quiet that they'd call in and complain that we weren't picking up the trash when we actually had already serviced them. So that kind of plays testament to the unique quietness of the natural gas engine.
Today's natural gas engines also offer optimum performance. Horsepower and torque are virtually identical to that of a comparable diesel engine. In fact, today, Cummins Westport natural gas engines are operating efficiently in a wide range of equipment and applications.